Week in Review is back.
What's up, guys? The phenomenal AJ Styles, and you're watching Bretto Live.
What is going on, guys? Bretto Live back with another video, and today we have the Week in Review episode 250 set up, baby. Let's go. Obviously, yes, I did miss last week's Week in Review only because I was on vacation, and I couldn't freaking find the time to film on Raw and SmackDown, so I sincerely do apologize for no Week in Review last week. But hey, we're bouncing back. Absolute banger Week in Review this week. We're going to be talking about Raw. We're going to be talking about SmackDown. Let's jump into Monday Night Raw first. It's just me. Oos. We opened up the show with Mr. Yeet Man, Jey Uso. Jey Uso comes out. He calls out his brother Jimmy, who also comes out. And of course, he's got Solo by his side. They come in the ring, and it sets up for our match at WrestleMania that we all knew was going to happen. Jimmy versus Jey, WrestleMania. My God, am I excited. We've had Owen and Brett. We've had Matt and Jeff. Now we have Jey and Jimmy. I am so freaking excited for this. This is going to be awesome. Super glad that they confirmed it here in the beginning of the show. It ended in an all-out brawl. Jey Uso made sure Jimmy got some of this yeet down, and then the numbers game, it caught up to Jey Uso when Solo distracted Jey. Jimmy super kicked Jey, and then it looked like they were about to cause more damage, but then here comes Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes ran down, make sure they couldn't do any more damage to Jey Uso, because obviously Cody Rhodes is the man that brought Mr. Yeet Man, Jey Uso, to Monday Night Raw, so he had to come down to the ring to save him. This promo to open up the show was an absolute bang, and my goodness, am I excited for their match at WrestleMania. It's going to be awesome. A lot of tag teams are gunning to get into that six-man ladder match at WrestleMania with the Judgment Day and their undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. We saw DIY take on the Creed brothers. Creed is what you need. Dude, the Creed brothers are so freaking talented. They're some of the strongest dudes on the freaking roster. My goodness, this was a heck of a match. I really enjoyed it. I feel like every time DIY jumps in the ring, and the Creed brothers themselves, they always kick butt. This match was great. In the end, we just said DIY qualify for the match at WrestleMania. They were able to pin Julius Creed to pick up the victory. 1, 2, 3, DIY are going to WrestleMania. Are they going to win at Mania? Possibly. Most likely not. But they're going to be great in that match, especially ladder match. Woo! It's going to be awesome. Andrade approaches the Judgment Day backstage, and he's still trying to conduct some business with the Judgment Day. They're going to be on ringside for his match next week, and I'm curious to see if Andrade eventually joins the Judgment Day. I could see that happening, bro. I could see him wearing the dark clothes. And him and Dominic, I don't know. I could see it happening. But will it? Most likely not. This Candice LeRae thing is so stupid. Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell went up against Katana Chance and Caden Carter. And dude, what Candice has been doing, I didn't talk about last week because there was no Week in Review, but she insulted Maxine Dupree talking about a dead sibling or something. And I was like, bro, this is so freaking cringe. Candice is literally, she never wins. And all of a sudden she's going to start winning after she says cringe comments in the ring. This is so stupid in my opinion. She attacked Katana Chance after Katana Chance injured her knee and the ref was checking on her, and she was able to take advantage and pick up the victory. I mean, any means necessary. I'm always about that. Any means necessary to win a match. But this was just, I don't know. I don't like the new Candice LeRae thing. I think it's stupid. But at least it's something. Cody Rhodes was absolutely insulting The Rock after The Rock insulted his mother on last week's episode of SmackDown. He told him he has a tiny wiener. And then he got oh man, it's hard to say that with a straight face. But anyways, Paul Heyman comes out. And Paul Heyman interrupts this, obviously, because, Cody Rhodes is talking crap about the bloodline. Paul Heyman proposes an offer to Cody Rhodes, telling Cody Rhodes, show up to SmackDown this Friday alone. Roman Reigns will be alone. You need to be alone. It needs to be a one-on-one, face-to-face confrontation. I will be the only man being there so I can hold the title. And then Cody Rhodes agreed to it. He was like, okay, I'll show up to SmackDown alone, face-to-face with Roman Reigns. Let's freaking do it. He handshakes Paul Heyman, and then it kind of ends there. But this was a kick butt promo. I love Cody Rhodes in the ring. My goodness, he's so good at talking, bro. Sami Zayn won the gauntlet match last week, and Chad Gable doesn't think he could beat Gunther? What is that? Anyways, we saw a contract signing between Gunther and Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championships that's going to be happening at WrestleMania. My God, am I excited for this match. I loved the gauntlet match last week. It was freaking amazing. Seeing Sami Zayn win that match was exhilarating. Contract signing here was pretty decent. Your average contract signing. I'm winning. No, I'm winning. And then Sami Zayn says, I know I can beat you. I know I can beat you. Even though Chad doesn't think he can. And then he got in the face of Gunther and said, now do you think I can beat me? Look into my eyes. I'm like, this was pretty good. And then Chad Gable Cole tells Sami Zayn that you need to find a new strategy to beat Gunther. He's like no man I've ever faced. He's freaking insane. I love Sami Zayn in this storyline, bro, and he has to be the guy that dethrones Gunther. He has to be. Ricochet got an opportunity to shut up dirty Dominic Mysterio, and he did. It was one-on-one action. We saw JD McDonough on ringside for, obviously, Dominic Mysterio, but Ricochet was able to overcome the odds, which I was super freaking shocked by. He hit a moonsault on Dominic Mysterio to pick up the victory, and Ricochet avoids an attack after the match as well. Bro was just untouchable. I was like, what is going on? He was trying to impress Samantha Irvin, who was sitting on ringside announcing his name. I guarantee it, bro. His freaking wife. Dude, but yeah, he hits a moonsault, wins the match over Dominic Mysterio, and I'm like, that was freaking sick. So to see Ricochet back full force here on Monday Night Raw, I am all for it, dude. This is cool. How do you guys like how I set up that moonsault? I think it looks pretty cool. Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre had a pretty kick-butt promo here, basically getting the point across that Drew says, I'm going to beat you, Seth Rollins, and stop focusing on the bloodline. Drew, you're a spotlight junkie. No, Seth, you're a spotlight junkie. I don't know. Typical promo between Drew and Seth here. I just can't wait for them to face at WrestleMania. It's going to be freaking fire for the World Championship. Will CM Punk be introduced as a special guest referee? Possibly. They are going to Chicago this coming Monday, which I might be there, I might not. We'll see. But yeah, this was a pretty decent promo, and I did pleasantly enjoy it. Not bad at all. Good stuff. I love the new Drew, bro. I really do. And his new shirt, too, the Savior of WrestleMania. That's a really cool shirt. The Awesome Truth qualified for the WrestleMania 6-man ladder match by beating Indoshir, Veer, and Sangha. Jinder Mahal's team, I was surprised to see them win. I'm like, bro, I guarantee Veer and Sangha are going to win this. But then the Awesome Truth pull it out. I'm like, that is freaking cool. And I loved the Awesome Truth's entrance, bro. I'm like, bro, it's 2011. Let's go. Super nostalgic seeing Truth and Miz in the ring as the Awesome Truth again. I thought this was really cool, man. Like, full force. They were full force Awesome Truth. I was like, this is awesome. The New Day also qualified for that 6-man ladder match at WrestleMania by beating Otis and Akira Tozawa. This match was nothing special, but we did see Xavier Woods hit a pretty cool springboard elbow drop on Akira Tozawa to pick up the victory. And Akira hit a Trouble in Paradise on Kofi Kingston. What a crazy turnabout move there. Not bad. And in the main event of the show, a match that I was not looking forward to until they announced that it's going to be a last woman standing match, Nia Jax versus Becky Lynch, who's all the way up there jumping off a ladder, which looks insane and super intense. This match, they used freaking ladders, tables, kendo sticks. It was off the chain, bro. In the end, we saw Nia Jax get manhandle slammed through a table on ringside, and then she got leg dropped to the back of the head by Becky Lynch off a freaking ladder, just like this, and Nia Jax could not get to her feet by the count of 10, and Becky Lynch finally beats Nia Jax. Finally! Oh my gosh, what is this, like the 20th try beating Nia Jax? And she's finally done it, and then she goes face-to-face with Rhea Ripley to end the show. Bro, come on, let's go. Becky Lynch is untouchable. Will she beat Rhea at WrestleMania? I don't think so. I don't think she will. I think Rhea will beat Becky, but this was still a great ending here to the to Monday Night Raw. I really enjoyed this main event. This was the main event. I thought it was pretty freaking fire. This is Monday Night Raw, WWE actually gets set up style. I'm going to rate Raw right now. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. That was a pretty decent show. A lot of talking in this show. A lot of promos. A lot of freaking promos, but also a decent amount of wrestling. But I felt like there was a lot more promos and a lot more talking than wrestling. But it was still a solid Raw. And my favorite moment is easily the leg drop from Becky Lynch off the top of the ladder to Nia Jax. That was freaking insane. Nia's head literally crushed in that table. Friday Night SmackDown. Let's talk about it. We opened up the show with an absolute bang. Rey Mysterio was set to go one-on-one with Santos Escobar. No LWO on ringside. No Legado de Fantasma on ringside. So I'm like, ooh, nobody's going to get involved. We're going to have a clean finish. Nope. Great match, right? And then I see what I thought at first was a fan with a Rey Mysterio mask, but it turned out to be Dominic Mysterio with a Rey Mysterio mask on his head, and he distracted Rey Mysterio, allowing Santos Escobar to hit a 619 and pick up the victory over Rey Mysterio. And I'm like, oh my gosh, are we going to see Dom versus Rey Part 2 at WrestleMania? Is that the plan? I'd be fine with it, okay? I'd be totally fine with that. As far as Santos beating Rey here, I'm just glad it wasn't clean, okay? It wasn't a clean victory. Dominic distracted him, so I'm fine with that. But, yeah, if you guys are wondering how I did the Dominic Mysterio, I just basically removed a Rey Mysterio head and put it on that Dom. It looks freaking fantastic. But yeah, if they do Dom versus Rey Part 2 at Mania, I'd totally be fine with it. And I was totally fine with this opening match. I'm not gonna lie, it was really solid. Why is Michin Mia Yim still with the club? I find her so out of place in that group. Anyway, anyways, it was a tournament match for the six-man ladder match that's going to be happening at WrestleMania. It was the Club, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, going up against Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. Not a bad tag team match. I wasn't really too into it. But in the end, it looked like we were going to see a Magic Killer from the Club, and they were going to win. But Grayson Waller and Austin Theory were able to overcome the Club by rolling them up and picking up the victory. Light work, man. I remember when the Club were actually hard to beat. But no, not anymore. Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, they were able to take the W one step closer to being in that six-man ladder match at WrestleMania. The tournament match over here was the Street Profits going up against AOP. The winner of this match will face Grayson and Theory, and then the winner of that match goes to Mania, the six-man ladder match, which I am insanely excited for. Street Profits, AOP of the Final Testament. I thought for sure this was going to be AOP. I'm going to be straight up. I'm like, bro, AOP, no way they're being pinned. All of the Final Testament were on ringside, but the Street Profits were able to overcome, dude. They were able to roll up one of the members of, I think it was, maybe it might have been Ankam of AOP, and they were able to pick up the victory. Like, caught me insanely off guard. I'm like, bro, AOP, for sure, they're taking this W, but they didn't, and I was super duper shocked. Street Profits, another step closer to being in that six-man ladder match. They have to face Theory and Waller, and then the winner of that match gets in the six-man, and then there's only one more team that we have to add to that match, and I think that's going to be a Legends tag team. Maybe the Dudley Boys? I don't know. Before Naomi went one-on-one with Io Sky, Bayley was attacked backstage by Damage Control. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. They're still going to take out Bayley here, even backstage? Bro. Anyways, we jumped right into Io Sky versus Naomi one-on-one. Match wasn't half bad. In the end, we did see a little Damage Control interruption. It led to Io Sky picking up the victory and hitting the moonsault off the top. And I was like, typical victory there for Damage Control. After the match, they go in for the 4-on-1 beatdown. But then here comes Bianca Belair, who was skeptical about helping out Naomi and Bayley. But she said, you know what, screw it. I'm going to go help out Naomi. I can't stand Damage Control. And then I thought it was pretty cool after the beatdown. Naomi was protecting Bianca Belair's body like this as Damage Control was still kicking them. So I'm like, that's pretty cool that Naomi's showing her respects to Bianca like that. So hopefully they're going to create a tight bond there. But all the freaking bullcrap that Bayley put Bianca through over the past couple years, I do not blame Bianca for being skeptical about trusting Bayley. But as far as this Damage Control storyline, I've been into it. I'm not going to lie. Ever since they turned on Bayley, I've been into this a lot. Only a matter of time till Io loses that title at WrestleMania, baby. We all know what's happening. New champ's going to be Bayley, bro. It's going to be Bayley. Jade Cargill finally has signed to Raw or SmackDown. She signed to SmackDown, bro. Nick Aldis, he must have had a pretty good deal on the table because Jade Cargill has signed with SmackDown and she will make her first official SmackDown appearance as a signed superstar next week on SmackDown, which I'm really excited about. I'll be covering all that in next week's Week in Review. Stay tuned for it. But dude, I'm so glad that Jade's finally going to be on television. Oh my goodness. I feel like she's just barely on. It's like, oh my gosh, she's such a good talent. Like, get her in a story. Like, oh my goodness. She's coming to SmackDown, baby. I'm hyped. AJ Styles was being interviewed at his house because I guess he's afraid to show up to SmackDown because he doesn't want to interact with LA Knight, and I don't blame him because he screwed him over in the Elimination Chamber match. But anyways, AJ Styles was getting interviewed in his house, and LA Knight came to him. He was out in his driveway honking a horn, distracts AJ Styles. They start brawling in front of his house, and then the local police departments, the Gainesville, Georgia Police Department, literally drives out, and they freaking break up this fight. They arrest LA Knight, and I was like, oh my god, AJ Styles wants to press charges, all that jazz. So AJ Styles better show up to SmackDown because LA Knight said he'll do this again. He doesn't care. He will literally do this again. This gave me Samoa Joe vibes all over again. You guys remember when Samoa Joe was terrorizing AJ Styles' family? I loved this. Super awesome stuff right here, in my opinion. I thought this was really goofy and really awesome. We had our one-on-one, face-to-face competition between Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. Remember how on Monday they agreed to a one-on-one confrontation? No Bloodline, no Seth, no Jay, nobody? Yeah, that got thrown out the window. Of course, we did see a great promo between the two men, mentioning the Shield, mentioning WrestleMania, mentioning how The Rock could turn on Roman, how Seth could turn on Cody. Really good stuff mentioned in this promo. At the end, we did see Roman Reigns snap his fingers just like Thanos, and we saw Jimmy and Solo appear out of the crowd. I was like, oh boy, it's going to be a 3-on-1 beatdown. But then here comes Jay and Seth through the crowd, helping out Cody Rhodes, evening up the odds. There was no brawl that broke out, but it was an awesome confrontation between six guys over here and Paul Heyman, which was very cool. Very awesome way to end the show. Got me thinking. I loved this promo. I am so freaking excited for WrestleMania 40. Like, it's unfathomable how excited I am for WrestleMania 40. I am so freaking hyped to watch that show. I'm not going, unfortunately, but I will be covering both nights on this YouTube channel, so stay tuned for it. But what a way to end SmackDown right there. Favorite moment easily has got to be LA Knight being arrested. Yeah, the Cody stuff was good, but this just got me cracking up. I loved this. I thought this was so funny and so classic WWE. There's some good stuff on the SmackDown. I'm going to be giving it a 3.5 out of 5. The only reason it doesn't receive a 4 is because of some of the matches. I'm not going to lie, but it was still a solid SmackDown. Your thoughts on both Raw and SmackDown down in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Bretto Live, signing out.